Mary Miles Minter, who was a pretty famous film star in her day. She did, 53 silent films between 1912 and 1923. Now, Mary Miles Minter had a mother, boy, talk about the ultimate stage mother, and known for being ruthless, conniving, lying, possibly a murderer, and a major alcoholic. Um, when Mary Miles Minter was born, she was Juliet Riley, and her mother was Charlotte Shelby Riley. So when little Juliet was 10, she accompanied, oh, by the way, I should say that for Charlotte Riley, her mother was a stage actress, Broadway actress, before the days of film, even before even silent film. So when little Juliet was 10, her daughter-in-laws, she actually had her accompany her sister to a casting, and they decided to hire little Juliet instead. Well, because Juliet was only 10, to get around the labor law, they forged a. What happened? Sorry about those cuts, folks. I'm having technical difficulties. But her mother, you see where we're at. Whoa! Her mother forged some documents. Actually, she took the birth certificate of her sister, of Charlotte's sister's dead baby, and renamed her to make her look older, Mary Miles Minter, and that's how she got her stage name, which she basically kept for the rest of her life until her marriage. Um, so Mary Miles Minter, the newly crowned Mary's, it's hard to say, isn't it? A lot of alliteration. Mary Miles Minter begins a career, and she's doing tons of silent films. She was rivaling Mary Pickford for her talent, her eyes, her cuteness, um, starting in about 1912. Well, in 1919, she does her first film for William Desmond Taylor, famed director who started out as an actor, and actually his name wasn't William Desmond Taylor, it was William Tanner. He was an Irishman who came to the United States to be an actor and then became a director. Anyway, sometime around 1919, Mary apparently starts writing sort of coded, ambiguous love letters to William Desmond Taylor, the director. Now, some will say that New Taylor will say, he was 30 years older than her, he was almost 50, and she either had a serious crush on Taylor and it was never consummated, or maybe they did have a little something, but he didn't consider it serious. She considered herself in love with him. I mean, she wrote all kinds of things when he died about her lover. Jesus was crucified. Now it's my mate, my soulmate. So she was quite taken with him, and apparently he wasn't. Now, actually, I'm going to do a vlog on William Desmond Taylor because his story is as fascinating. In fact, there were even rumors that he might have been homosexual, and that the studios were covering up for it by planting those letters in his residence, and nudie pictures of women and actresses later on. Let's see where my time is at. Excuse me. Okay, we're still good. So, one night in 1922, and it's rumored that Mary was at the house that night, William Desmond Taylor is murdered. He's shot in the back. And I don't think it was until the next day that his butler discovered him. His valet, supposedly the man who procured women or maybe men for him. Their relationship is a little questionable too. So the body is found, he's murdered. A witness says that she saw a man coming out of the house, looked her right in the eye, but then later they said maybe it was a woman dressed as a man. Who's one of the number one suspects in the murder of William Desmond Taylor? Charlotte Riley, Mary Miles Minter's mother. Said to be, mentally unstable and very jealous that, that if it came out about the affair, it would ruin her daughter's career somehow or other. Very convoluted. I don't really see how it would, but those were scandalous times. These things couldn't be really revealed to the public, especially if the two people weren't married. So the mother of Mary Miles Minter was pursued for years about this. In fact, there's rumors she was either having an affair with or had personal relations with or paid off, or all of the above, several, or at least a couple of the district attorneys of Los Angeles, not to investigate her, to sweep it under the rug. She also traveled extensively, including to Europe afterwards, tried to stay out of the public eye. 15 years later, she finally said, look, convict me or stop the rumor and the speculation. Well, apparently Mary did blame her mother and confessed to friends that her mother did in fact murder Taylor. But it's not where the story ends. So about a year later, after the scandal, in 1923, the studio dropped Mary's contract. But contrary to popular belief, it didn't ruin her career. It wasn't like a Fatty Arbuckle situation, which was another huge trial. That was the OJ trial of the century. That was going on around the same time. Her career stalled a little bit, but she was still getting plenty of film offers by 1923. But Mary turned them all down. She said she was through with acting. She never really liked the profession in the first place. Perhaps her mother pushed her into it. So she retired, according to her, quietly and nicely. She had real estate holdings. She eventually made up with her mother, and they lived in the house behind me here in Santa Monica up on the hill with a nice ocean view, especially from the second floor with a view of the sunset, as a matter of fact. Turn around here, and I know we're going to be looking into the sun, but I don't know. But that's the ocean behind, or I should say beyond those hedges. Can't really see it too well here because of the sunshine. But Mary lived here for, oh gosh, more than 50 years actually. And in 1981, when she was approaching 80 years old, and into the 30s and 40s, she gained a ton of weight, became over 200 pounds, didn't really go out in public much. And then in 1981, when she was approaching 80, she was robbed here in the house. Actually, they took hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and things, but thank God they were caught. And of course, it was a caregiver and her team would come back and rob her former boss, or maybe her current boss. That I'm not sure of. But the police investigated. They said, this Mary Winter was this frail old lady. She told them the story of who she was. Of course, no one could believe she had been a huge, huge star in the 20s. So anyway, in 1984, she died in this home. And so I wouldn't say died in obscurity. It's a nice home. It's a very nice neighborhood. It's, I don't know what the homes were worth then, but they're worth well over $1 million, $2 million now. And like I said, behind us we have this ocean view. So another great scandal. We'll never really know whether her mother did kill William Desmond Taylor, or whether it was somebody else, or whether Mary ever knew who did it. But here's the home, and it's quite lovely, and especially with that ocean view on the second floor. And I'm going to call it at that, folks. And I am going to go out to Taylor's house. We're going to do a vlog there too. So it's nice talking to everybody. Hope you're all well. Please, if you like my channel and you like my content, which I try to provide on a daily basis, please give me likes. Please comment in the comment section if you see fit. And please subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button and you'll be notified when I do post. Okay, folks, thanks very much. And now it's on to the next location. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. I'm going to close out on the house here.